Today we're looking at the Ultraview Slide. A couple things to note from the beginning here is simply I have no relationship with Ultraview. I'm a very beginning YouTuber. Nobody even knows I exist. This was purchased with my own money, and I do live in Canada. This cost me 750 Canadian dollars. So let's go ahead and open it up, take a look, see what's inside. I've also been using this for about 6 or 7 months. Haven't been able to sight it in as much as I'd like just due to weather, but we're getting there. So it's a very nice carrying case here, hard plastic on the inside, keep everything in its spot. Very good for if you're traveling, just to keep the sight separate, you don't wreck anything. Inside, what do you got? You got a bag with a couple extra tools and utilities and things like that. I got an extra level, some bolts to attach the sight to your bow. I do have a Matthews Phase 4 with the bridge lock technology on it, so I have the bracket, it just slides in, you attach it like so. You got 2 extra batteries because this sight does come with a light on it, but it also does let you switch out that light. And then this is the actual light system here. As you can see, it's just the front of the bracket with the battery slot up top. Actually looks like it takes 2 batteries, and it will provide light to your thing in case you're shooting in some lower light situations. The buttons up top here, one turns them on. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera very well, but you got like ultraviolet light there, and you can brighten them and dim them with the other 2 buttons here. It comes with both, quick use guide, pretty nice quality. Pictures are clear, how to adjust all your axi, who knows? And you can just kind of go through there and kind of just gives you all the various information on how to get it sighted in. So it comes with multiple sight tapes, just to make it easy here for you once you get it sighted in. Again, based on your bow speed and everything else, but you use their little indicator, which I'll show on the actual sight, and you can basically get the sight that should match what works for you. It comes with both right-handed up to a certain size as well as left-handed, because this is able to be switched from right to left. Then you get the sight itself. This is the bracket to mount it to the bow itself. As you can see, like I said, I have the bridge lock system. It's got 3 little indents here to be able to securely attach it. I keep it in the most forward one because I'm aiming for more distance out of the bow than anything else. So the closer the sight is to the bow, the more distance you can get on the range of the slide. Very solid. This is metal. I don't know what kind of metal. I'm going to assume it's aluminum, but it's very solid. Doesn't have a plasticky feel to it whatsoever. And at the bottom here, it's got the little clip to be able to attach the housing and take it off. You got your first and second axis adjustments all right here. First and second is slaved together, I guess they say, and is supposed to come from the basically when you buy it, those should already be set. You should not have to mess with them. That said, they give you the option to change it. Third axis adjustment is here. Third axis is a little bit harder for me. I don't quite yet have the setup to properly do it by myself. Third axis is always easier to have 2 people help you out already, or have 2 people working on it to set it up. The actual sight housing itself as well as the slide. Now, like I said, this originally came with the lighted bracket on. I took that off and put on this one. You can switch that out with the screw here to keep it attached and kind of work from there. Now, you also have the option here. The front part, this also comes off with that screw here. To be able to switch out, they actually have multiple pin options that you can switch out on their website and order, I have a 4-pin here, 3 that, 2 of them that slide, 1 that's set in the middle, and at the very bottom you have a little pin for those extra long distances. On this side over here, you have the indicators themselves. When they attach here, they'll mark it on the actual sight tape. You got the yellow or gold one here for that set pin, and then the 2 greens for the top and the bottom. And you can add on an indicator, and it's in the little accessory bag to indicate the sight for that one at the very bottom here. This here is the lock when it's attached. If it's open, you're able to move things. I'm able to move the wheel. If it's closed, when it's attached, it will not move because it does lock that in place. There's also an indicator here for when you're actually figuring out what sight tape, getting it sighted in. We'll go over that briefly in a minute. On this side here, the wheel, you have a little lock here for your windage adjustment. If it's closed, it won't move. You pop it out, move it left or right as needed. On the actual bar here, you have indicators so you can mark it, keep an eye on it in case it moves, and it moves in or out as needed. Now, put the sight on the bracket here. You pop this part up. Basically, the lock is up. I find the easiest way to do it is usually to come from the top and push it down in till it locks there, and then you see there you can then move the wheel. You hear the click, that means it's attached, and now it's got like a stop. It won't come off the bottom no matter what you do. I'm sure you could force it, but you probably also break it. All pretty good movement here, and it just works really well. Push the wheel down, it kind of locks it in place. Now you can still kind of move it, but it's very hard to do so. And generally I'd probably recommend just popping the wheel up and adjusting as needed. To take the sight off, wheel it all the way down to the bottom, push the little thing forward, spin it, it comes loose, and you can pop it off and put it away. Now this sight tape here is on a metal bracket that you can actually move up and down or completely take off. Loosen these 2 screws, and you could adjust it as needed to get it set. And what they want you to do is, again, you're using this little indicator here on this side to set your 20 yards. So get that set solid, make sure that's good, and then they want you to go out to 60 yards and sight it in. And with the 60, you get it wherever it's set on that end, so you're hitting where you want to at 60, and then it should line up in one of these hash marks here. Okay. Now this is the one thing I do not like about this particular sight is how close these are and how hard it is actually to see. As you can see here, it's like 1, 5, 10, everything else. All these numbers do not indicate yardage. They are for picking the correct sight tape. And basically what you want to do is get it to where you're at 60, and then figure out what number is at 60 for this. Many people have found that it's easier to, once you get it sighted in, actually just take a picture with your camera of that, so you could then zoom in on it and see the number better, because it does start at 1, but then it alternates like, I'm going to call it clear, it's white, but clear, black, all the way down. And if your eyesight's terrible like mine is getting, it's hard to see the differentiation. But take a picture, zoom in a bit, and you'll be good to go there and figure it out. And then once you have that number, you go to your sight tape and just find the indicating number at the bottom here. Overall, again, things I like, very high quality. I do love this case for getting everything set up. The sight system, getting it sighted in, the only annoyance is simply being able to read that, being able to read the number indicated there without having to use, a magnifying glass or something like that. They give you plenty of sight tapes. It's very high quality. Everything fits in the little case here. They give you extra little bars for the sight tapes themselves. So if you wanted to, like, let's say you switch your weights around, you're shooting 70 in the summer and hunting, and then in the off season you drop it down to 60 or 65. You don't have to pull the tape off and put a new one on. You can actually have a separate metal bracket that you can switch out. Again, same as the other side, 2 screws, switch them out, put a different sight tape on, and call it good, without having to go through the entire resighting process just because you changed weights. So that's my review of the Ultraview Slide. Very solid sight, very expensive for what it is. Would I recommend anybody buying it? No, not the quality strong. The case is nice, plenty of extra accessories come with it. Pretty much everything you need. It is modular insofar as you can switch out both this bracket here to put in a lighted option for those states and provinces that let you use lights when you're hunting. And if you're not able to, switch it out, put a regular here to be able to see it better. The module at the front with the actual pins is also able to be switched out, and they have many different options, including different pin sizes. I personally prefer a vertical pin stack, usually 2, maybe 3 pins. When I'm at TAC, if they have the booth there, which they should because it's one of the larger TACs, I'm going to see if I can get a vertical pin stack for this module and just have it for my purposes. I don't tend to like having more than 2 pins, plus the bottom one on here. This is what they had at my local shop, simply because, again, I'm in Canada and these things are overly expensive, and they're even worse now with the tariffs. So that's my review of the Ultraview Slide. Love it very well, goes well with my Matthews Phase 4, and yeah, so anybody else has any suggestions for any reviews you want to see, anything like that, I do intend to review my front stabilizer bar. It is the oh, I forget the company that makes it now, the Mule. I'll put it on the screen here who makes it with that. And I do intend to review it, as it's a interesting stabilizer option, good for if you're doing lots of walking. We'll get into that in that review, but leave comments below if I'm terrible, if I'm great, if I'm horrible, whatever. You know, just trying to put my videos out there, give my thoughts. You know, people watch it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But feel free to leave reviews. Feel free to leave comments. Like and subscribe if you want to. Dislike it if you like. I really just starting out, doesn't bother me any right now. I expect to be terrible at this, and the whole goal is to get better. So we'll leave it here, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.